So hello everyone. I want to bring you up to speed on what's been happening with us in Emmanuel Church over the last several months. It's the announcement that I gave to the church this past Sunday, April 24th. As you may or may not know, Emmanuel Church joined us in June of last year with the goal of us mentoring them and helping them move toward planting a new church. And as a part of that process, in August, Darren Elquist and his wife Becky, myself, and Bill Hoyt from Growing Healthy Churches attended a church planting assessment conference. And at that church planting assessment conference, it was determined that Darren's gifts did not match for him to go out and start a standalone traditional church plant. So we came back and continued meeting, praying, getting input and advice from people. And then in December of this past year, Darren, myself, met with Bill Hoyt from Growing Healthy Churches and Paul Root from an organization called Converge that plants church around the world. We met with them for 3 days, and as a part of that, their assessment to us came on a Saturday morning, which included both boards meeting with all of us. And their recommendation to us was that Emmanuel Church merge with us here at the Bridge, and then we launch a new multi-site of the Bridge Church targeting the Spanish Springs area. And part of the reason for this is it was determined that Darren's gifts do match being involved as a campus pastor of a multi-site church like this. And so for the last several months, since December, we all have continued to pray, to meet, to collaborate, to get advice and input from lots of sources. And so this past early April, both boards met together and unanimously voted for the Emmanuel Church to merge with us here at the Bridge and to seek to launch a new multi-site campus of the Bridge targeting the Spanish Springs area. That's the decision we've come to. So let me tell you what that means. What that means really is three things right off the top. First one is this: there's going to be just one church, which will be the Bridge, that will meet in 2 locations. Both churches, this main location and the multi-site, will have the same mission, vision, and values. In other words, what we want to do is try to replicate the DNA of the Bridge Church in a different part of the city here. And 3, there will be one board that will oversee the ministries of both locations. So what are the next steps? The first one is this: Emmanuel Church will officially dissolve and merge with us here at the Bridge, but their legacy will continue. Second of all, Emmanuel members will become members of the Bridge Church if they so desire, without having to go through our starting point or membership class. We'll encourage them to do so, but it's not going to be a requirement. The third thing that's going to happen is 2 members from the Emmanuel board will become ex officio or non-voting members of the Bridge board to help with this transition. We felt it was important to continue to have people who were a part of the process when it began to help see this process through. Fourth, the next step is that all monies from the sale of the Emmanuel Church property will be transferred to the Bridge Church for the sole purpose of new church starts. It will also be tracked separately with oversight from the board. What we want people to know is all of the monies from the sale of that property, which is considerable, probably around $500,000, will be used simply and solely for trying to start new churches or new church plants or multi-site locations. Our desire is to continue the legacy of Emmanuel by making sure that's what happens. Fifth, Darren Elquist and Sarah Grunstead, who are part of the staff of Emmanuel and have been unofficial staff members here at the Bridge, will become official staff members of the Bridge beginning today. 6, we're going to start to recruit and train and develop a launch team that's committed to the new multi-site vision and location. And finally, we will begin to establish a presence in the Spanish Springs area through small groups and other appropriate means in that community before we ever begin any formal worship services. Again, our emphasis is to get something going through small groups, meeting in the Spanish Springs area before we start trying to rent space and begin worship services. So what's this going to cost us here at the Bridge? What does that look like for us? Really three things. First of all, what I just simply call prayer and passion. We're asking each of you to pray with us as we seek to establish a new location in a different part of this city to reach people for Christ. That's where the passion comes in. We are committed to continue to reach out and build bridges for people to come to Jesus and grow in His grace, whether they're in this part of the city where the Bridge location is now or in a different part. The second thing is we think that it will cost us some people. We believe some of you who are part of the Bridge here now God will tap you on the shoulder to become a part of something new over in the Spanish Springs area. It may be you live closer to that location, or you may simply want to be a part of helping us get something new started. And we're excited about that. 3, what it means is some of our financial resources. A good majority of the resources to get this going will come from the sale of the property, of the Emmanuel Church property, but we also believe it's important that we invest some financial resources along the way as well. We will be working through Darren to raise some additional monies for that. We will be looking to and expecting the launch team members to be a part of that. And then we here at the Bridge, here at this location, will also be investing some money along the way. So why are we doing this? What has brought us to make this decision at this time when this is not what any of us thought when Emmanuel first came over here back in June? First of all, it is our mission, as I mentioned earlier. We are committed as the Bridge Church. We believe we exist to build bridges for people to come to Jesus and grow in His grace. And whether that happens here or in some other part of the city, we want to be a part of that. About 95% of the people who live in northern Nevada are unchurched. And we get to be a part of helping reach people in a different area of northern Nevada, a different area of our city, by being able to do this. The third reason we're doing this is we want to leverage the legacy resources of Emmanuel Church. We want that to continue beyond the first generation of what happened over in this part of Sparks they were in. And so we want to be a part of that. 4, we've received some wise input and counsel from several members, from Bill Hoyt from Growing Healthy Churches, Paul Root with Converge Church Planning Association, as well as other churches and other people who are starting out and doing the same kind of thing. And then finally, we believe God has led us to this point to make this decision. The circumstances that God has brought about has come together in such a way that we have felt like that if we did not take this step, we would be disobeying God. So we are taking a step of faith, trusting God as leading us and stepping out on this venture that we've never entered into before, believing God will lead us and direct us. A couple of weeks ago, I shared in a service that the ways God leads and directs our lives really are through 3 things. 1, His Word, and we know God's Word is real clear about us reaching people for Christ. Secondly, God leads us through the wise counsel and input of other people. And we have sought out wise counsel and input from several, if not dozens of people through this process, all of which have directed us to take this path. And then finally, life circumstances. Again, God has orchestrated events in a way that we never dreamed He would, that has pointed us to take this next step of faith. And so that's what we're doing. So we're asking you to join us. We're asking you to be a part of this. We're encouraging, if you have any questions or concerns, to feel free to contact me here at the church or the board. Let us know, because we want to be as clear as we can and as upfront as we can about this whole process. We're excited about it and trusting that God will lead us. We will do our best to keep you informed and let you know along the way everything that's happening, and we'll see together what God will do through all of this.